Have you ever caught yourself talking out loud when you're alone and wondered if that made you strange? The truth is the opposite. People who talk to themselves are not losing control, not unstable, and definitely not weak. In most cases, it's a sign that your mind is operating on a psychological frequency higher than what most people can even recognize. You're not rambling. You're opening a door that many never dare to enter, a direct doorway into your inner depth and your unique cognitive architecture. And here's the fascinating part. Among all the reasons humans speak to themselves, there is one rare psychological trait that almost no one notices. Yet it is the foundation of creativity, authenticity, and emotional maturity. Let me show you the 5 unique traits people who talk to themselves often possess. And we're starting with the rarest one first. If talking to yourself is not a sign of instability, then what is the deeper truth behind it? Do you know that you are possessing the ability to detach from yourself, to step outside your own mind and observe your thoughts as if they belong to someone else? It may sound abstract, but if you've ever sat alone in your room and quietly muttered, "Okay, how much is this actually affecting me?" or "What exactly am I afraid of?" then that was the moment you stopped seeing your emotions through the lens of panic and started seeing them through the eyes of an observer. A small shift, but enough to reshape your entire inner world. I still remember nights pacing in a dimly lit room, whispering things I couldn't admit during the day. Once I said them out loud, my fears suddenly had shape. And strangely, once I could see them clearly, I could even laugh at them. Exactly as psychologists describe in paradoxical intention, mocking your own fear to regain control. And within those moments of solitude, when there is no one left to perform for, your most authentic thoughts begin to surface. A kind of honesty that rarely emerges in daily life. Jungian analysts call this creative inner dialogue. The moment when you're not just talking, but listening. Listening to the part of you that wants to grow, create, and become the most genuine version of yourself. This is what makes you different. You're not just confronting life. You're confronting your own being. And once you've learned to step outside yourself and observe your own mind, the next thing you naturally seek is clarity, a way to organize everything happening inside your head, which is exactly why the second trait matters so much. Many people, including you, most likely speak out loud when their thoughts feel tangled, not because they've lost control, but because their brain is running at a speed that silence alone cannot contain. There's a psychological mechanism known as the materialization of thought, the moment when speaking turns a vague idea into something physical. When you say it aloud, your thoughts stop floating. They become something you can examine, question, and organize. Have you ever had days when your thoughts swirled around like fog inside your mind? And suddenly you whispered, "Wait, what exactly am I thinking?" Did everything begin to separate into layers? Which part is worry? Which part is assumption? Which part is the truth? In that exact moment, your brain seems to switch into deep analysis mode, something silence alone could never do. Psychological research consistently shows this. Speaking your thoughts reduces ambiguity and increases cognitive accuracy. You're not an overthinker. You're a deep thinker, someone who needs clarity before choosing a direction. And once clarity appears, your mind naturally moves to the next step, using your voice as a tool to sharpen focus and guide attention. And that's exactly trait #3. Have you ever found yourself calling out the name of an object while searching for it? Like phone, or quietly reminding yourself, "Focus here. Don't get distracted." Why do you do that? And why does it work so well? Psychology shows that when you say the name of something you're looking for, the brain, especially the visual cortex, becomes more activated. This phenomenon is known as stimulus upregulation. Your words act as a signal that strengthens your brain's ability to filter out noise and lock onto the target. In other words, you're commanding your brain through language. Your voice becomes a navigation tool, functioning like a search keyword that your neural system immediately responds to. Have you noticed that when you mutter to guide your attention, you become less distracted? That isn't coincidence. It's an efficient cognitive mechanism that many people unconsciously use. And once your ability to focus sharpens, another psychological layer begins to emerge. the ability to regulate your emotions using the very same voice. Focus alone isn't enough. In a lot of stressful situations, what truly matters is keeping your emotions from slipping out of control, which leads us directly to trait #4. Have you ever spoken to yourself in the second or third person? Such as, "Stay calm. You can handle this." Or, "Why did you react that way?" If you have, you're using a mechanism known as distant self-talk, speaking to yourself as if you were someone else. Psychology shows that when you use this kind of distanced self-talk, your negative emotions lose some of their intensity. Your anxiety decreases noticeably, and you become able to evaluate the situation more objectively than when you're fully immersed in your feelings. Scientifically, distant self-talk generates psychological distance, allowing the brain to shift from reactive mode to reflective mode. This shift helps you treat your emotions as information rather than danger. Have you noticed that a simple self-directed sentence can pull you out of emotional overwhelm? That's because when you speak to yourself like a guide, the brain interprets that message as reassurance, even though it comes from within you. And once your emotions are regulated, you unlock another uncommon ability: the capacity to store and retain important information more effectively. That is exactly why trait #5 becomes fascinating. This is not accidental. Psychology refers to this phenomenon as the production effect, a unique memory mechanism activated when you produce sound with your own voice. When you read or speak information aloud, the brain records it not just as data, but as an experience. The sound, the vibration of your voice, the rhythm of your words, all of these create a multisensory imprint that silent thought cannot replicate. This imprint marks the information more clearly within your long-term memory system. Have you noticed that when you remind yourself of something out loud, you rarely forget it? Or that an idea becomes sharper and easier to recall once you say it aloud? That's because the brain distinguishes between passing information and important information worth keeping, and vocalizing it serves as the signal that this is something meaningful. Understanding this reveals that self-talk is not just a tool for clarity, not just a mechanism for focus or emotional regulation, but also a powerful way to build a memory system that functions above the average level. Looking back at everything self-talk reveals, it becomes clear that talking to yourself has never been a sign of weakness or disorder. On the contrary, it reflects a psychological system operating at a more refined level. You can detach from yourself to observe your inner world, seek clarity in your thoughts, guide your focus, stabilize your emotions, and strengthen your memory by imprinting information through your own voice. Together, these abilities form a mental architecture that not everyone possesses. You don't just think. You dialogue with yourself, and that dialogue is what helps you grow in self-awareness. In a world filled with noise and distraction, the ability to turn inward, speak to yourself, and understand yourself more deeply may be one of the most powerful psychological skills you have. It doesn't separate you from the world. It allows you to enter it with more clarity, composure, and creativity. So, if you've ever wondered whether talking to yourself makes you strange, the answer is no. It means you operate on a psychological frequency many people haven't accessed yet. And if you're someone who can have an entire conversation with yourself, drop an emoji below to show others like you that they're not alone.